My name is Gülür Çakmak. I'm an assistant professor in the Department of History of Art and Architecture at UMass Amherst. And the name of my project is Training 21st Century Curators for a 21st Century Audience, Presenting Historical Objects in Digital Media. It was an undergraduate seminar on late 18th to early 20th century sculpture that I taught at UMass in fall 2016. And the blended or the digital part of the project was going to be an online exhibition that my students were going to co-curate. And the objects that they selected were a group of sculptures at the Mount Holyoke College Art Museum. Sculptures are supposed to be experienced from 360 degrees, and this experience itself really becomes a full experience as you're taking in the sculpture from multiple angles. So there's a fourth dimension involved, your experience of time, right? I also wanted them to be able to create innovative content, to be creative, and to really go into the in-depth learning process. And in that sense, the course succeeded. I'm very happy with the results that my students produced. The students had to really think very heavily about visual aspects of the work. And we offered them a number of softwares, a number of tools. We taught them how to use Agisoft. And the model that you create on Agisoft needs to be uploaded to Sketchfab, so they had to learn how to upload that to Sketchfab. And from Sketchfab, it would be embedded to the website, to the course website itself. So some other students, for example, used other 3D moving images using GIF. Another app we used was ThingLink, which allows you to take a still image and then annotate it. And even those who ended up not using any 3D modeling devices had to actually go on field trips in which they analyzed the sculpture in depth. First of all, on the course website, we built a checklist of around 25 sculptures that I selected from the Mount Holyoke collection. And this checklist included in-depth information as well as multiple photographs. So the students first selected which sculpture they wanted to focus on for the rest of the semester. The first assignment was to write a long visual analysis, a long visual description of their selected sculpture just from the photographs that I had provided for them. And then the second assignment was actually to go to the Mount Holyoke College Museum and encounter that sculpture for the first time. And then there, take notes, take pictures, take films. You know, we provided them with iPads that the 5 colleges very generously gave us. And then they had to go home and write a field trip assignment. And then the following assignment was actually working on coming up with a research question about this object, putting it in historical context. The blended learning component also had a peer review element, so they turned in their first drafts of their research papers and they peer reviewed each other's research papers before finalizing the final draft and building actually their projects on the website. The results show me that they really felt that they were free to go in whatever direction they wanted to go. So in that sense, I was really very proud that a number of students actually really took this 3-dimensional, 4-dimensional experience to the heart and really accessed these sculptures, looked at these sculptures extremely carefully, from multiple angles, from multiple directions, from up, from down, really communing with the artist. I had 2 fantastic TAs. One of them, Emily Lankiewicz, is a senior at Mount Holyoke College, and she was a whiz with Agisoft. She gave us 2 in-class workshops. In the first one, she, in broader terms, introduced the students to these 3D modeling devices, Agisoft, and then how it lives on Sketchfab. And then Emily also provided both video tutorials as well as PDF tutorials about how to use these 3D modeling devices. My other Emily, who is a graduate student in the art history department at UMass, she prepared tutorials for how to use the website, how to build their projects on the website. This was again a number of PDF tutorials, but also YouTube video tutorials. I'm really proud of those products, and yes, I'm very eager to share them with my colleagues and their students. The most challenging part of teaching this blended learning course, where I actually have to give my students some kind of technological literacy, is how to balance for example, art historical content that I'm giving them with the technological skills to get the students some basic digital technological literacy. The big question, just thinking ahead, looking ahead, is what is the role of the universities? Get started early, get a team who understands your vision from the beginning, but the person who is actually going to sit down and design and program your website, or sit down, design and program your assignments, that person should be in the room from the moment you are drafting, let's say, your proposal for a grant application, right? So that they understand your vision. I highly, highly advise getting student assistants in the project, graduate level, undergraduate level, tech savvy, or interested, willing to learn. And maybe one more thing. In my experience, thinking about 3D modeling, for example, this is something very new. A wonderful program like Agisoft is very good with marble, very good with opaque surfaces, but not necessarily with reflective surfaces. So this was an unexpected outcome of experimenting with these new technologies, that it doesn't always work. So, this is something to keep in mind. So in the near future, these group of sculptures my students selected is going to be the core of an exhibition that I'm curating at Mount Holyoke Museum, which is opening in August, this coming August, and it will be up till May. And it's very exciting for me that the website that we prepared will be the digital exhibition catalog of that museum. So hopefully people, even before going to the exhibition, will read these student researches, will see some of these 3D models, and will be even more intrigued to go to the museum and to experience this work themselves. Actually, a number of my students will come back and they will give gallery talks. I've been teaching the sculpture seminar for a while, and in the process I became very familiar with the kind of sculptures that are sort of, tucked away and forgotten in the storages. So my one big desire and passion is, as I continue teaching this course, my students will continue, making more successful 3D models and adding more scholarship. And in the end, hopefully we will have something like a 5-college sculpture, late 18th to mid-20th century sculpture database. My hope will be to have more sculpture exhibitions by other colleagues, by other students in the Valley in the future, and have their digital publications as these very splendid learning courses.